Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. This is tour number 10. I did not do many videos this weekend because I've been really trying to get this section up to speed where I want it to be. So I've added a lot to it. I'm feeling pretty good. So we're going to do a tour video. Here is Tucker, my grand puppy, who is getting pretty large now. Hey Tuck, hey, come on. He loves to eat mulch. I don't know what it is. What are you eating? Come on. He'll also go run right down where I have my strawberries planted, and he will just rip every strawberry off there. In this section I've done the raised beds. There are no bottoms in here. I keep getting a lot of questions. There aren't any bottoms in these galvanized containers right here, but it's a great way to do raised bed gardening. This is all mulch. Plants are doing pretty good. I talked about if you put too many wood chips into, hey, come on. If you put too many wood chips into your soil, there's competition for the nitrogen because the wood microbiology wants to take the nitrogen to break down. But you can get around it. I'll be doing a full video on this. But I wanted to show you, if your plants are looking yellow like that, it's time to give them a water-soluble fertilizer with nitrogen. Those tomatoes are a little bit yellow. Give them a good drink. Just soak it a couple of seconds. Soak the ground around the root system. Let it go 3 or 4 days later. If it doesn't bounce back and isn't more green or more how it should look, go ahead and add some more. You can't really go wrong with water-soluble fertilizer. And then I've done a top dressing on there. I'll be talking about that in other videos. But I was really happy with this section. This is going to look nice. I'm going to be dropping in all kinds of containers around here. So really this, yeah, I don't know why my voice just did that. Really around this end is going to be the container garden area. Be setting up a lot of containers using these 17 gallon galvanized containers, really used for like sodas, beers, ice, that kind of stuff. These are rescue plants, not the grape, but right now is a great time to go to Home Depot, Lowe's, find plants on sale at a great discount. They usually just haven't been watered, so they're beat up. Take them home, water them, feed them, and they do really, really well. This is literally a raised bed 4x6 garden. It's got a watering system in there. I'm going to be putting that together. It's from Eco Garden Systems, and I'll be talking more about that as we go along. Stevia plant. That's going to get out into the garden. And there'll be a whole video on setting this up too, because the pallets were dropped in here as another way to really set up a container garden. Here is my cherry tomato hedge. They are starting to come in nicely. You can see a pretty heavy dressing of fertilizer. Now that's cotton meal, so there isn't a huge amount of nutrition in there. It has to break down. It's a really slow release, but that's how you kind of do a top dressing in one way, or one way to do a top dressing, or side dressing people call it. The onions are doing extremely well. They were struggling until I dropped mulch down. If you put mulch on top of your soil, it really conserves and holds moisture. It gets to those shallow roots, and the plants do really well. We'll get over to that side in a second. I'm just going to walk down here. Had to pull out my cauliflower that was in here because it was getting too warm. The greens, the kales, the collards are doing extremely well. There's the crazy moth I talk about sitting on the leaf of my squash plant. That moth lays the eggs that create the green cabbage looper that destroys your plants. I'm going to be doing videos on using garden fabric. Hey Tucker, come here. Stop eating all that. Go walk around. Garden fabric is probably the best way to manage moths and the worms that hatch from the eggs that they lay, if you don't want to use any chemicals whatsoever. Even if you use organic dusts or chemical dusts, you still can harm the good insects. You can still harm bees. The other tomato hedge, lots of tomatoes coming in. You can see the flowers. These were all planted indoors in my house back in January, doing really well. Green beans across the way, couple of beds to fill up, and that's what I was really doing this weekend. I was trying to get all the beds filled, weeded, and mulched. You may notice throughout my garden, I mentioned before, whenever you see this stake in the ground, that means I'm growing a plant variety that was an All-America Selections winner. And what that means is All-America Selections is a non-profit organization. It's been around for 85 years. They do seed trials they trial new plant varieties and only the best become AAS winners. Well, I'm growing 20 plus varieties. These marigolds are beautiful, mixed in with the tomatoes. I'll be talking about that. But I'm going to be doing profiles on their page of mature plants, flowers, vegetables, fruits, ornamentals. And if you want to subscribe, check the description. It'll show you how to get to All America Selections YouTube channel. And I'll be doing video there. These are all tomatoes that have won the AAS title. These are the Chef Choice varieties in here, all kinds of different colors. Got the 2019 Chef's Choice Black, but you can see I'm going to have tons of tomatoes. Coming up through here, we've got the contestants, which I like to call, well, I like to call them the contestants. This is the Big Zack, which I am challenging viewers and Jess from Roots and Refuge and Kim from CaliKim to see who can grow the largest weighted tomato. I've got 2 growing on there. I'll be doing that video tonight actually. And that's my Brandywine. So that's doing really, really well. More All America Selection winners, kales, peppers, and again these peppers are a little bit yellow. This was a nice broccoli that after I took the tops off, getting lots of side shoots. One area I was able to take care of was this space in here. Blueberries are all planted. I have 16 different plants. Probably have to cage this in some way. Raspberries, currants, and then other fruit plants that are going to need to get out into different parts of the yard. The hops are doing fine. Right over here I built this. This is where we now have our fire pit, so I was kind of excited about that. I would do kind of a build video on this, but this is my first run, so technically there's a lot of imperfections. So I don't really want to teach how to do something if I can't do it well. I really haven't done it before, but maybe as I get better with carpentry and stuff, I will do some videos on that. This is my green stalk tower that I highly recommend. You can find that company in my job description. I am affiliated with them. But this is a tomato tower. I have all kinds of tomatoes in here, indeterminate, determinate types, but that is going to be Tuck. He's going nuts. Come here, Tuck. Come here. What are you doing? I don't know what he's eating, but hopefully it's not the Big Zack tomato. Distracted. All right, so I'm doing the tomato tower here. I got a hot pepper tower going there. This is a great system for growing vertically. These are my first tomatoes that I put out really early. I was using the cloches down there, the vases, to take care of them, and just I want to show you all the different tomatoes. Some of these are AAS winners, but the tomatoes are really coming in, so I'm really excited about that. This is going to be a container garden where I am going to put in tons of peppers, maybe a couple tomato plants, but I'm going to show you how much you can really grow in a small space like this if you raise the containers up. Let me grab Tucker. Hey Tucker, come with me. Come on. Want to say hi? What are you eating? Huh? Come on over this way. Alright. Come on, Tuck. If you want to see what weed killer does to your plants, I have an experiment going on. I'm going to go by that in a second. I'll be doing a video on it. Alright, I'm going to let you run. Go! The peppers in the sunken container gardening are doing extremely well. Watermelon, the squash from a couple videos ago, getting really huge. I mean, they look great. They'll be trellised up soon. Peppers in the back. Potatoes in the back in the containers. Asparagus looks good. So I have a lot of videos to get done, but I really recommend don't try and overdo new projects and different things till you take care of what you already have growing. We've got okra right in there. Nice happy pollinator. Beets, basil, spinach, Swiss chard, purple cabbage. Just dropped some cucumbers in there. These are pickling cucumbers. These have actually been thinned, but because it's been raining, they haven't wilted. I actually thinned them yesterday. Another round of lettuce. That'll probably be okay. Some Roxanne radishes, purple peas, and here's what I wanted to show you. And I do a lot of experiments in here. Excuse me. So these are green beans that I took care of the slugs down at the bottom. But around the base, not in the garden, on the outside, I sprayed some of the weed killer. And weed killer, if it gets into your plants, and people see this a lot on tomatoes, any kind of drift, really small amounts, the leaves of your vegetables are going to get distorted and they're going to look like this. They will grow out of that, but I'll be doing a video on that. But the bottom line is, it's for when people go and grab grass clippings, and the grass clippings have been sprayed for weed killers. If you cut the grass, use it in your garden, drop it around your plants for mulch, you can see all this distortion start to happen, and it comes out of weed killer, just small amounts. All right, so let's come around this way. Tuck. All right, Tucker's now standing on the baby tomatoes. So, have all these plants that I have to get out. I gave a lot away. Tucker, come on. Whoa, hold up with me. We call that a technical difficulty. I have all these plants that have to get into the bed, so that's what I was doing for really much of this weekend, is getting space to get these in. I'll be giving away some of the tomato plants, some of the pepper plants. But you just don't want to get so behind in your garden because life gets in the way. You know, I got to work a full-time job, that you can't take care of everything you're doing. Start small in your garden. You know, be able to give it the time that it needs, and you're going to really be rewarded with something that gives you a lot of satisfaction. So here's my garden as of June 10th. More videos to come. Thanks so much for being part of my YouTube channel and sharing your gardens with me. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for a bunch of videos on tomato pruning, tomato gardening 101, and the containers I was talking about. Thanks again.